Hi everyone, this is Julianne Victoria. Welcome to my channel. This is our weekly spiritual guidance for the week of March 21st through the 27th, 2022. Let's see what advice, guidance, God, Spirit, the universe has for us for this week. And I am switching it up a little. I'm going to pull the Oracle card first, which will be from my own deck, the Fine Lines. And then I'll do the tarot reading, and then I'll read the prompts, the journaling prompts from the Traversing the Fine Lines workbook for those who want to dive deeper into that card. Okay. All right, so let's pull our a popper just jumped right out. So this is actually one of my favorite cards in this deck, and we have Discernment versus Judgment. So this week, this last full week of March 2022, I feel like we're going to have to check ourselves. Are we being judgmental towards someone, towards ourselves? Sorry, that was my kitten jumping in all the moving boxes. Or are we discerning the situation? And sometimes it plays out that we don't discern things for fear of being judgmental. So that may be what some of us need to face within ourselves this week. Okay, so I'll read the journaling prompts for that after I do the tarot portion. For the tarot portion of this week's reading, I am using the Majestic Earth Tarot. And I have pre-shuffled, so I'm going to do one deeper shuffle here. Okay. And as usual, I am doing my mini cross spread. Yeah, some of us might be passive because we're afraid of coming across as judgmental when we really need to discern a situation. Okay. Yeah, I feel like there's something confusing us and interesting. The bottom card on the deck is Judgment, and I do feel like that's literal because of our Fine Lines card here. It's a week of maybe we need to judge our own ability and fears concerning being discerning versus being judgmental. And it's definitely more weighing on the side of we're not being judgmental this week, but we're being mute because we're afraid of people thinking we're judging when we're really just assessing and discerning a situation, or maybe it's a problem you need to solve or a question to answer. And, we need to do that. And it doesn't have to be judgmental as in harshly, biasedly, is that a word? Looking at a situation, right? It can be from a very open and clear space, but we have to discern situations to make decisions on what to do, right? Okay, so the first card at the center of our spread here, the card that represents us or the viewer this week, we have the Three of Stone, and stone in this deck is Pentacles. And it does have some keywords there. Can I get it to focus? Expertise, renown, collaboration, development. This is us. And expertise is the word that's jumping out here. So this is a card of works, hard work, building up for things, also communication, cooperative work. But it's representing us. We need to be aware of and acknowledge, and I want to say embrace, our expertise, what we know. Because of the energy of judgment versus discernment, I think it's a good idea to check on what you feel you know, so you can discern something, make a decision very clearly. Maybe this side's better. Yeah, without the blinds. But we do know stuff, and we are an expertise in some field. And this may literally apply to your work, your job, your career, because this is the first card. Or a hobby, something you do that you do often, you do well. Maybe someone's going to come ask you a question or ask for your expertise. Maybe they're saying, how am I doing in this? And you might be like, oh, I don't want to be judgmental, but you need to give a fair assessment. Be discerning, right? Yeah, but embrace what you know, and the knowledge and skills you have developed. And from there, they will grow. And again, the collaboration, communication energy of this Three of Stones, yeah, it's like the discernment versus judgment energy. It has to do with us imparting, sharing, or someone coming to us for information on our expertise. Okay, my cat is all over the place, so you might be hearing noises all over. So the card surrounding us as the Three of Stone is the Two of Clouds. So Two of Clouds would be Two of Air, so Two of Swords. The cat is going to walk right across here. You might have a visit. There we go. Okay, she's jumping on the top of the bookshelf here. So Two of Clouds, and the keywords here are equilibrium, ruminate, dichotomy, barrier, and it's that rumination energy that I was picking up, like, oh, what do? I don't want to seem judgmental. They asked for my opinion. They asked for my help. They asked what I know. I feel I need to share something because I've observed something. I've discerned something, but I don't want to come across as judgmental. It's really sort of like this quiet, because a typical Two of Swords is the woman, holding the two swords blindfolded. Maybe we don't want to see what we're seeing. Maybe we don't want to be seen or heard. We're afraid of being seen or heard wrong. We need to get over that. We need to get over that. We have expertise. And it may be, you need to discern the right time to say something. But that as an across environment is also a barrier position. Yeah, it's a challenge for us this week. Actually, this is our challenge. I think the challenge is more to be discerning. She is just so frisky this morning. Bear with her, please. Okay, in the crowning position, in the mind position, we have the Seven of Trees, and trees are the wands in this deck. And we have surmount, vantage, exhilaration, exertion, Seven of Wands. That's the card of courage and valor, our minds. That's where I said we need to step up to our expertise. We know what we know. We have the experience, we have the skills, we have the knowledge, we have the wisdom, whatever it may be. Very likely to do with work, career, or a hobby. This doesn't feel like relationship, but relationships may be related to what you do, right? Yeah. And we will find that courage to overcome this barrier of rumination in our minds, of feeling stuck. It's the stalemate card too. We will step and get over that. So this is a personal challenge. It's not about stepping up to other people and like, this is how I see this, right? It's about us stepping up to ourselves and saying, you know what? I know about this. I see this situation, or I see the answer to this problem that someone has, or the question they've asked me, or what I've observed. I'm going to step up and share that and do my best to not come across as overbearingly judgmental. Okay, now below in the physical realm, oh yeah, I just realized this. So we have Two of Water, Two of Cups, and of course the keywords are romance, trust, cooperation, union. This is the card of love in our physical realm. People will appreciate our input. They will appreciate our knowledge, our skills, our observations, what we have discerned, what we have gently judged. Now, judgment isn't always a bad word, right? But, it's that harsh judgment, the stepping on people. But we often must judge a situation in the discerning sense. And people will often appreciate that honesty, that trust. They trust your knowledge, your opinion, your view on things. Okay. So that also makes me feel like this will all come out just fine. But again, this is like a challenge within us to realize that maybe we are mute at times when we could be of benefit and help to others through sharing, our knowledge, what we observe, etc. Now, in the past position, we have the Steward of Clouds. And I believe stewards are pages in this deck. I could be wrong. But the keywords are observant, detect, discretion, vigilance. Yeah, Page of Swords, I believe this is. Correct me below if I'm wrong. But this is in the past position, and that vigilance, discretion, holding back. We have held back in the past. And this week, our challenge is to face that discretion of not talking, of not sharing. This looks like almost like the entrance to a cemetery. We've been afraid to speak up at times, maybe for fear of being judged by others, right? There's many layers that this can play out. But now we need to step up, cooperate by sharing what we know in a, I'm going to say in a teaching way, in a teaching fashion, a way that will benefit others. So I don't think we're going to be like, oh, you did that wrong, blah, 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 that type of judgment. We're going to be like, hey, I've noticed this. I have experience in it. Can I help you out? Those are two completely different ways to approach the same type of situation. Now, the outcome card, the future card, and this does feel like it's the conclusion of what occurs this week, maybe in the next week or two, but it feels very present. We have the 9 of clouds, so 9 of swords. And we have anticipation, anxiety, forlorn, worry. This is that 9 of swords card, the woman, with her head in her hands, up bed at night. This has caused us too much worry. And I feel like this is a caution. If we don't work on addressing this now, again, this week feels very present, or the next couple of weeks or so, it will create more worry and stress for us, a whole lot more worry and stress. The other cards show by us stepping up and sharing what we know, approaching things, discerning things, and helping others through sharing our expertise, by not being, what was the word on here? By not being so discreet. We will avoid a lot of sadness and stress later on for ourselves and possibly for others whom we could possibly help. I'm going to pull one more card on that outcome card, because I feel like that doesn't come up often, but it does feel like it's a warning card of if we don't follow this advice and do this inner work, because it really is inner work. Yeah, we get the spirit of water. Breathtaking, sublimate, ingenuity, impact. We can have an amazing impact. I believe spirit is the king energy here. We can have, a queen energy, I'm sorry. Correct me below, because again, I haven't worked with this deck in a while, but I think it's king. But we can have a great impact on others. A breathtaking, sublime, beautiful impact on others by sharing, again, our expertise, our knowledge, our skills, cooperating, working with others, and not being resistant. So for some, if this judgment is you are actually being judgmental and resisting that cooperation, again, we have that bottom card supporting that. Stand up, face your fears, face the worry. I feel overall, because we have that 2 of cups, 2 of water, it will be happily and gratefully accepted. Okay, so now let me read that section for discernment versus judgment from the guidebook, from the workbook, and see what prompt I gave for those who really want exercises to work deeper into that. So discernment versus judgment is on page 173. It's a huge book, but there are 10 journaling pages per prompt. So, okay, discernment versus judgment. And I'll show you the page. I don't know how well it will focus. If it does, you can take a screenshot and use that. But I do give definitions of the terms on these cards in the workbook. So the prompt is, it's very natural to go through our everyday lives and pass judgment on people, including ourselves, and circumstances we encounter. It happens seamlessly. This is our ego mind doing its thing, but problems can arise when we hang on to that thought of judgment. So don't beat yourself up when you have those thoughts of judgment. They will come up, but it's when we hang on to them and see it as reality. This hanging on through repeatedly thinking about it or complaining about it zaps our own energy. If we allow ourselves to say or do something unpleasant to the person or people we are judging, we zap their energy too. The ego mind is quick, and we may not be able to catch it from its judgments. However, we can transform the energy of those thoughts by stopping ourselves, our minds, once the judgment thought has popped up, and re-look at the person or situation with compassion and understanding. We then can observe with discernment. Think of a person whom you tend to be very judgmental towards. This could be you, a family member, a coworker, or a celebrity. What is the emotion you feel when you are in that judgmental state? Angry, jealous, sad, self-righteous? Do they remind you of an aspect of yourself or of a person who hurt you in the past? Look within to find understanding and compassion for the angry or hurt part of you, and you will find understanding for those whom you judge. So these prompts can also be used for deeper shadow work. Yeah, so that is our reading for this week ahead. Definitely the energy has shifted now. The past month of weeklies have been a lot about this new beginning and growth. And now it's very much a personal, introspective look at ourselves so that I feel we can be more of help to others. Okay, that is our weekly spiritual guidance for this week of March 21st through the 27th, 2022. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing, and I'll see you back here soon.